Good morning, students. As we have done with all the steps, all the types of methods, how to solve the equations, now you are going to do the application part. I am still revising the systematic and transposition method because you people are facing little bit of confusion. So just revise it and then start doing your exercise. Good morning, students. Today again I am going to explain you how to solve simple equations. I told you there are three methods: trial and error, systematic and transposition. Trial and error we have done in the previous class, and now I'll explain you the difference between the systematic and transposition. I'll take an equation from your exercise only, like it is given 13x is equal to 169, and you have to solve this question by systematic method. Now in this method what you have to do is to, in every method you are going to keep the variable on the left hand side, and first you have to see where is the variable. It is already on the left hand side, it's correct, first step is okay. Now you see how to make the variable independent. Independent means without a constant. It is an algebraic term, so you need to remove the constant from here. Is that clear? Now see, the constant is multiplied over here. So how you will remove this constant as it is multiplied? So you will divide it. So divide both sides. Divide both sides by 13, because you need to remove 13 from the variable. So 13x upon 13, and same thing you have to do on the right hand side. Is that clear? Now these, they get cancelled, you are left with only x, and now here what is left? 13. If I reduce it, clear? So the value of x is 13. This is systematic method. I'll take one more example. X minus 7 is equal to 24. Now x is already independent, but on the left hand side you have minus 7. So what you are going to do? You will add, this is minus 7, you will add 7 to both sides. You will add 7 to both sides. So x minus 7 plus 7, 24 plus 7. So these two, 7 minus 7 and plus 7, they will become 0, is equal to 31. So x is equal to 31. Is this clear? This is systematic method, means in order to make the variable independent, what you have to do, if the constant is multiplying the variable, you will divide. If it will divide, you will multiply. Clear? Then comes the transposition. I will take the same equation. In transposition method, 13 is multiplied with x on the left hand side. When it will go to the right hand side, it will divide. So your variable value is 13. You have changed the position. If the position is changed, the operation will also change. Similarly, x minus 7 is equal to 24. Now take 7 to the right hand side. It is minus 7. It will become plus 7. So it is 31. Is it clear? So these are the two methods. You can go by any of these two. It is your choice if it is not specified. If it is specified that you have to solve using systematic method, you have to solve using trial and error method, and you have to solve using transposition method, then you have to follow the particular method. Otherwise, trial and error you are going to use only whenever it is asked. But these methods you can use any of these two. When the question comes, solve the equation. You can follow any of the method. It is up to you. Okay. So I have explained. I think now the things are clear. What is systematic and what is transposition. Fine. Now there is a question in your exercise 4.2. which says the sum of 16 and unknown number. Exercise 4.2, applying thought. Sum of 16 and unknown number is 60. Question 3. Let unknown number is equal to x. Now according to question, it says sum of 16 plus unknown number is 60. And what is the unknown number? Now you can follow systematic method or transposition, that is your choice. But as per the exercise, I will use using systematic method. Using systematic method, what I will do? Add. 16 is added. So subtract 16 on both sides. 16 subtract कर दो दोनों sides. So now 16 plus x minus 16 is equal to 16 minus 16. So these two 16, they will become, I'll write it this way. This will become 44 and here it will be 0. 44. So x is equal to 44. Is that clear? So when you add 16 to 44, it will become 60. Understand? Now your exercise 4.3 we have already done. I have explained you the method. Now I will take up two questions from your exercise 4.4, applying thought. Question 1 I have already explained in the previous class. Now come to question number 3. Exercise 4.4, question number 3, which says if a perimeter of rectangle is 48 centimeter, perimeter is 48 centimeter and it's a rectangle, breadth is 10 centimeter. Find the length of the rectangle. So let the length of rectangle is equal to L. Take it as L. Clear? Now, according to question, perimeter is equal to twice L plus B. Perimeter is 48 plus 2. L you don't know. Breadth is 10. Now open the bracket. 2L plus 20. Now see, the length is variable is on right hand side. So bring it to the left hand side and minus 48. Clear? Minus, this will be 28 of negative sign. Now length is going to be equal to minus 28 upon, now this minus 2 will come here, minus and minus they will get cancelled and you are going to reduce it. So L is 14 centimeter. Is it clear? So in this manner you are going to solve your question number 3. Now come to question number, from 4th and 5th I'll take question number 4. Now question number 4 says the sum of two numbers is 46 if one is 6 more than the other. So let first number is equal to x. Therefore, second number six more than the other. 6 more means you are going to add 6 to it. So you got the two numbers. Now according to the question, it says the sum of two numbers is 46. So when I add first number, that is x, and the second number, that is x plus 6, it gives me answer 46. Now open the brackets. X plus x, 2x plus 6 is equal to 46. 2x, 46 minus 6, it will go to the right hand side. 2x is equal to 40 and x is equal to 40 upon 2, that is x is equal to 20. One number is, your first number is 20. So second number is 20 plus 6, that is 26. So this is your, these two numbers are your answer. Clear? So your question 4 is to be done in this manner. Now I'll explain question number 6. Now question number 6 says, in an isosceles triangle one angle is 90 degree. Okay, one angle is in isosceles triangle. Angle 1 is equal to 90 degree. Now you know that as it's an isosceles triangle, so angle 2 will be equal to angle 3. Rest of the two angles are going to be equal. So let angle 2 is equal to angle 3 and they are equal to x. You have taken each angle as x. So therefore, by angle sum property, of triangle, angle 1 plus angle 2 plus angle 3 is equal to 180 degree. Angle 1 is equal to 90 degree. Angle 2 and 3 are equal and each is equal to x. So you have put the value. So 90 degree plus 2x is equal to 180 degree. 2x is equal to 180 degree minus 90 degree, and this comes out to be 90 degree 2x. So x is equal to 90 degree upon 2, that is 45 degree. So each equal angle is equal to 45 degree. This is your answer. So in this manner you are going to solve your questions.